Okay, let's get this puppy on the road. My name's Lee Cole. It's my daily online business scope. Cuckster, how are you doing? Mike, how's it going? And Mike, I hope you're looking forward to what we're going to do in about an hour because that's got some really cool stuff for you. Bill, how are you doing today? As y'all notice, I'm in a slightly different area. Mrs. Mullins, how is life? And let me introduce myself real fast to tell you what today's show is going to be about. Delilah, how are things up in Chattanooga? I hope well, I hope. And let's talk about a couple of things. One, I'm working on my heart count. I'm over 2,500 hearts. So heart if you love the content. Today's show is going to be about having fun, specifically having fun in your business. So let me introduce myself. Let me got people jumping on this. Let me introduce myself, tell you who I am real fast, why you might want to follow me and look at my daily business shows. My name's Lee Cole. I have been making money full-time online for 5 years. I've been actually in this whole game of internet marketing and network marketing for about 8 years. And Dong, I'm telling you right now what I do. And Yogalina, how are you? And specifically, I consult with businesses, I create products, I work with people to create software that interfaces with social media and do all kinds of cool stuff. And I do these daily business scopes where these are Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. and what I'm telling you is just like the inside skinny on what I do for a living. There are a lot. Mav, how are you? I noticed, I hope I got you set up. You had sent me a support ticket and hope I got you responded to that. So basically, I'm just giving you the inside skinny on what I call the real deal about the laptop lifestyle, which I actually do live. And you know the thing about the laptop on the beach and you're making money and all that stuff. And I still don't know who would take a laptop to a beach, but anyway, I'm the real deal on that. And Barbados, we love. How are you? And I share that with you. So, a couple of things. This show is sponsored by this company, Carrot Bars. Let me show you something really cool. Right there in the middle of this card, that's right where I'm pointing, that's 1 gram of gold, around $60 right now. And I'm an affiliate for this company. It's a really cool thing. If you want to know more about it, you can go to my website, which is at Lee Cole Gold, LeeColeGold, LeeColeGold.com. That is who is sponsoring this program. Today's program is all about having fun. I think this is going to be cool. If you like the content, swipe and share. If you're on an iPhone, swipe horizontally. I think it's left to right. If you're on Android, I believe it's bottom to top. Share on Twitter, share on Facebook, please. Again, heart if you like the content, because I'm trying to build up my hearts. And follow me because I have some really cool followers-only content that goes out every now and then, and it's more in-depth stuff. So, talking about having fun, because you know when you talk about business, sometimes you just get all serious and you forget to access the playful parts of your mind, right? But really, it's kind of like the playful parts of our minds. It's our inner child that makes us very creative, and it's so easy, when you're trying to start a business part-time, or you're trying to talking about these online businesses or any business really, when you're trying to run a business, part-time or full-time, you just get all focused on stuff and, it's all like life or death and all that stuff. And it may be, it may be really important for you to make that money. It may be really important for you to pay those bills. I got that. I did a whole show yesterday about failure. I didn't get a lot of hearts on that show. I think it was kind of a downer, but I speak the truth about this whole deal. That's what I tell you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's much more good than there is bad and ugly, believe me. This is a whole heck of a lot better than working for a living. But it's not all a bed of roses. Well, one thing that I have to remind myself of, because I happen to be a very intense person, one thing that I have to remind myself of is the necessity of having fun. I mean, seriously, you're going to die. I hate to tell you, let you in on that news. You probably didn't know that. But you're going to die. So, I mean, do you want to spend your whole life just, nose to the grindstone? Now, by having fun, that could mean take a vacation. That could mean go to the zoo. That could mean go to the where Delilah lives. That could mean go to the aquarium, or just go out in your backyard and look at nature, or something like that, or take a walk, or go pet the dog, or go have a conversation with your significant other. Or if you don't have one of those, go find a significant other. Having fun encompasses a whole world of stuff. But a lot of times as business people or aspiring business people, we forget to do that. So again, I want to talk about that. Now, having fun is really easy when things are going well. Things are going well, you're having a really good month, this project that you started, lo and behold, is actually working. Um, you're making more money than you thought. You're on the top of the game. You're like genius. You're Warren Buffett, except nobody knows who you are, stuff like that. And then having fun. I mean, business is fun. I mean, it's fun to make money. It's fun to come up with an idea and launch that, and see the cash pour in. And if you've never done that, it's fun to. I remember my first sale online. I mean, that was one of the most significant events in my entire life, my first sale. I was still a mathematics teacher at the time, and I was an Amazon affiliate, and my first sale was selling a GPS device, and I made all of $3.48. But that was a complete game changer. The amount of money was inconsequential, but the thought process was a complete game changer. So when things are going well, whether they're going well on a little scale or a big scale, it is easy to have fun. The problem is it's a lot harder to have fun when things aren't going well, when you reach some bumps in the road. Ms. Mullins is a math teacher now. I loved that job. I have what I call my inner entrepreneur who needed to get out, frankly. And, it was just time for me to graduate and do something else. So when things aren't going well, you've reached some bumps in the road, maybe your business has reached a ceiling, or maybe you don't really have a business yet. Maybe you've bought some information products or some software and you're trying to put this stuff together and it's really frustrating, and it can be really frustrating. Or maybe you're clueless about what to do. Maybe you're like me 10 or 15 years ago. You're looking at the magazine section of the bookstore. They do have bookstores still, by the way. You're looking at the magazine section of the bookstore, and you're looking at Inc. magazine or Entrepreneur magazine, and you're just, reading about, how do people start businesses? How does this work? Wherever you are, if you're in a place of frustration, then or maybe, I mean, if you're a more seasoned business person, maybe the business that you've been running is starting to peter out. It's starting to slow down. It's got some structural problems that are starting to show up. I mean, all of these things can lead to major amounts of stress, and having fun at that time is really, really hard, especially for people who are psychologically predisposed to be self-employed, to be freelancers, to be entrepreneurs, because we have an inner drive that I think the rest of the world may have, but they haven't accessed yet. So it is in our nature when the going gets tough. Well, look, listen. When the going gets tough, the tough get going harder, more, and all that. I don't really think that works too well. That particular idea. I mean, it's all in our culture, but I'm going to give you some other ideas about how to get the joy and the love back in your life, and in your for your life and your business, and how to loosen up some. Because when you loosen up some, when you get real frustrated with your business, again, whether you're thinking about starting a business, whether you're daydreaming about starting a business, whether you've started a business, whether you've got a business, wherever you are, if things ain't going well, then it's kind of like this. You ever see a really big knot? Like if you've ever been fishing and you have this big tangle of fishing line, or maybe if you're like me, I mean, I love fishing, but if you're like me and you've got a giant extension cord that you use around the house, but, sometimes, after you finish doing whatever you're doing, you don't necessarily put it upright, and then you get it out again as this giant tangle thing. And if you just pull on the ends, okay, if you just pull, imagine just pulling on the ends there. Well, you're going to make things worse. You're going to take that tangle and compact it and going to tighten that up. That's what a lot of people do when the going gets tough and they get frustrated. They start pulling on those ends. The going gets tough, the tough get going. If you apply that, which again is a very socially acceptable thing to apply, usually in my experience, stuff gets worse, not better. So I'm going to give you like a sort of a countercultural idea, a series of ideas that will help you out here. And this will help you out at any level. It will help you out if you're daydreaming about starting a business but just don't know what to do because it's going to free your mind. Guys, the answer is in here. All of the answers are in here. And I'm not saying in here in terms of ego. I'm saying in here in terms of your connection in here with whatever your God is. Okay, the answer is in here. All right. It is firmly right in here. All you have to do is calm down and access it. It may not be what you thought it was. It usually isn't, but the answer is right in here. So the thing is, we're trying to calm you down so that you can get the answer, so that you can move ahead with your business life. So one of the big things, you may have caught this already, is to just let go. Just let go. Now I didn't say give up. I didn't say not care. I said let go. Letting go and not caring are two entirely different things. They may, to someone who's not experienced in letting go, they may feel the same. But let go is when you just release the energy of that problem. Okay? You just release the energy of that problem. And that, my analogy of pulling on the ends of the knot, like, the big extension cord that's all, tied up and you're pulling on the ends of the knot. Well, letting go is when you think, this ain't working. All of this pulling is not doing it. I saw a bunch of hearts. Give me some more hearts, guys. This is good stuff. All this pulling is not doing it. This is making the problem worse, not better. So when you let go, you just let go, and then you can start to loosen the knot, right? So number one, let go. Number two, just get really realistic. Okay, when you let go, you can start to see better. All right, when you're all frustrated, I guarantee you your vision is clouded. Your interpretations are wrong. Your vision is clouded, and you are making not necessarily bad decisions, but you're coming to decisions from information that you don't understand. Okay, so once you let go and calm down, you need to look at what you're doing. And this works anywhere along the spectrum of I'm daydreaming about starting a business, and I mean daydreaming in a good way. I want to do this. I've got a business I want to start. I've started a business. I'm doing it part-time. I'm trying to get some traction. I got a real business. I'm making some money. I need to ramp it up. I got a great business. It just happened to hit a wall, a ceiling, something changed. Somebody moved the cheese, Anywhere along that spectrum, okay, let go, calm down, and then you can start to see well. And then what you need to do is you need to get really, really honestly, almost ruthless in a way about looking at what is not working. Okay, obviously stuff's not working because it's not doing what you want it to, right? So you need to get really, really clear on what's not working. And with intelligence, you need to get really ruthless about cutting out the parts that are not working. Okay, so let's say that you tried to start a business in a certain way and you tried and tried and tried. Look, I got a friend who's been schlepping around a business plan for an online business for like 4 years, and I think he's pretty well given up. And I think he probably should pretty well give up because it ain't working. Okay, so that would be an example of cutting out something that's not working. The reason you need to cut out the stuff that's not working is because you have to make room for increase. Okay, this is another sort of a counterintuitive, or at least in our culture, Western culture, it's a counterintuitive idea. Actually, it's not a counterintuitive idea in Western culture. It's a biblical idea in Western culture. It's very much in in other spiritual ways of thinking, but in terms of our popular culture, it's a counterintuitive idea because a lot of people think that I have to see the increase before I get rid of something. In other words, this thing over here needs to work before I let go of that thing over there. I'm sorry, it does not work that way, and that's why it's so scary, okay? Because you must let go of that thing over there in order to make room for this thing over here to start to grow. Okay, who here has ever been out in the woods and you saw a big tree where a big tree had fallen over? Like a big tree with a big canopy, like a big oak tree, just fell over, a big tulip poplar if you're in the South, just fell over, and what does it do when it falls over? A bunch of sunlight hits the ground, right? And a bunch of little saplings start to sprout, right? In other words, and those saplings would not have sprouted had the big tree not fallen over. But there was something structurally wrong with the big tree, right? Somebody says they're looking at, Delilah's looking at one now. Good. So there was something structurally wrong with the big tree. Maybe it's rotten on the inside, maybe it got struck by lightning, whatever. That's life. It happens. Accept it. So the big tree falls over, but notice there's not a big tree. It doesn't get immediately, you don't immediately see a big tree, or you don't see two big trees and then one falls over. You have to make room for the increase. You have to make room for the new thing to grow. If you're constantly just micromanaging all your crap and not letting go of stuff, you're not going to make room for the increase. And that means you're not going to increase. You're always just going to be frustratedly stuck where you are. So make room for the increase. This is interesting that I said light. I'm looking at a series of topics I got on my computer right here. It's interesting I said the word light because the next topic is get light inside. Okay? Whatever that means to you. To me it means release the tension inside. Have faith. Decide that you don't have to work anymore today because you already did whatever you can do, whether you're part-time or full-time. You already did your thing. Go take a walk. Believe in the goodness and benevolence of the world that you live in. Difficult to do, I admit. But believe, but it is benevolent, and it is good, and it's actually intelligent. And it's here to help you. Believe in that world. And understand that this part of letting go is allowing yourself to do something besides nose to the grindstone, right? Okay, I've got to solve the problem. I've got to solve the problem. I've got to solve the problem. That's not working. That's pulling on both ends of that extension cord. It's not going to work. Let go. Get some more creativity in here, okay? Get light inside. Another thing that helps me a lot is to focus on me, okay? To look at me and say, well, what else can I clean up inside of me? Okay, can I clean up my thinking? Do I need to exercise a little more? Always, probably. Am I eating? There's nothing that I do bad in terms of ingesting substances, except maybe a few too many cookies. But am I eating healthfully? Am I sleeping right? Why is that? Because you are the engine that is making this whole thing go. And if you don't put oil in the engine and good gas, if you don't take care of it, the whole thing's going to flop. So you must take care of you as the motive source of this whole thing. I've got what I call, next item, I've got what I call my 80% rule, all right? And I actually got this from Ernest Hemingway. Just something, not that I knew Ernest Hemingway, I'm not that old, but I'm saying something I read about Ernest Hemingway. He said he always stopped writing during the day when he still had stuff in his brain to write out. Okay, he said because you're like a well. I mean, if you pull all the water out of the well today, you're going to have to wait 3 or 4 days for it to fill up with enough water to where you get the water you need tomorrow. So you can't just constantly take all the water out of the well. All right, you can't just constantly nose to the grindstone. It cannot constantly be 14-hour days, or if you're working full-time, it can't constantly be all 3 or 4 or 5 extra hours. Now, so how do you manage that? I mean, do you binge and then quit and binge and quit? Yeah, I've done that, and it kind of sort of works. But an easier way that I think works better is what I call my 80% rule. I do 80% of what I think I can do daily. And then, look, that's rough figuring, but I purposefully leave water in the well for tomorrow. So if I've got 80% of my work done, and there's not a crisis, that needs to be handled in the next 5 minutes, I think, great, I'm done. This is what I can do today, and tomorrow I'll do what I can do tomorrow, and the next day I'll do what I do, the next day. Couple more things. It's a marathon and not a sprint, all right? Growing, remember the analogy of the tree falling over? Well, what was it that replaced the tree? It was saplings. Those things take time to grow into a tree. I mean, a big tree takes a good 50 years to, it takes a good 50 years for a sapling to grow into a big tree, into a really huge tree, maybe even 100 years. Now, look, I know you're thinking, but Lee, I'm 40 years old. I don't have 100 years. Yeah, I know that. But, our stuff, what I'm talking about in business doesn't take that long. But it's the analogy I'm talking about. The starting small, the letting it grow, the, without sitting there and looking at it and saying, when is it going to work? When's it going to work? That's not letting go. You need to let it grow and let it mature and, let it work on the inside of you. Finally, trust your intuition. Your intuition is actually never wrong. Now, if you're an idiot like me, then hopefully you're married to somebody like my wife and you can trust her intuition, all right? Because actually God speaks to me more through my wife than me because I'm too thick-headed for, for a lot of stuff to get out. I'm getting better. But anyway, trust your intuition. It is never wrong. And if you have an intuition where this really isn't working and I'm really not liking this, maybe it's time to quit that. Or if you have an intuition, it's like what led me to doing these daily scopes. A friend of mine like a month ago said, man, Periscope, it's made for you. You'd be really great at it and you'd be able to help a lot of people. And I kind of was keeping that. Maybe that's about a month and a half ago now. It's been in the back of my head. But suddenly I got this sort of intuition about, I need to jump on this thing. And so then, well, what do? I had an intuition. I need a daily business scope and talk about my business life. Give people the real deal, the real inside skinny, the good, the bad, and the ugly of making money in alternative ways because I have a lot of experience with this. So, do I know exactly how scopes and periscoping ends up creating money? It's like I told another friend of mine, I said, I'm loving this thing, but I haven't connected the dots. I don't know how we go from Periscope to this, to that, to that, to that, till Lee gets paid. I can kind of figure it out, but the business head says, the business part of my brain says, not totally understanding that, but I'm going with it anyway. Why? Because my intuition said, Lee, this is massive. You need to jump on this live streaming thing. It was made for you. Cool beans. Again, this show is brought to you, and that's backwards, okay? That is a problem with Periscope, but that's backwards. That says Karat Bars, Karatbars. That is 1 gram of gold sitting there in that card, and if you want to know more about how to invest in gold, go to this website, LeeColeGold, LeeColeGold.com, LeeColeGold. You can sign up there for free, and hit me up, when you sign up, and we'll talk about how you can actually make an income telling people about that. But that is the company that is sponsoring my shows. Thank you so much. I love you. Without you, I would not have a show. Make sure you follow me. I have great followers-only content. If you thought that was good content, you should see my followers-only content. Y'all have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock every day, unless I'm sitting in, the intensive care unit, which I've never been in, thank the Lord. But unless I'm sitting there, we are having daily business scopes, and we're going to talk all about it. Y'all have a wonderful day.